Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Ajua. In this video, I want to discuss or share some amazing hidden gems as well as underrated fragrances in my collection, or what I believe to be underrated and hidden, gems in my collection. My personal definition of underrated or hidden gems is anything very affordable that a lot of people do not know about, that I personally think, it will be a good addition to anybody's fragrance wardrobe, especially when it comes to Middle Eastern fragrances, because that is what I usually talk about. There are lots of Middle Eastern fragrances. Some of them are quite affordable, but just because they're affordable doesn't mean they are all good. But these that I want to share with you are all affordable. I think they are all under $40, and they are good, for their price, what they do. And I think a lot of people need to know about these fragrances. So as I go with the list, I will let you know which one I think it is underrated and which one I think is a hidden gem. And the first one I want to share here, I believe is a hidden gem. And this particular fragrance links slightly masculine because it is heavy in the lavender, but it's not something that a woman cannot wear. And this one is called Layalina from Ard Al Zaafaran. I don't think it is like new on the market. It's been around for quite some time, but I've not seen anyone talking about Layalina from Ard Al Zaafaran, which has a note of lavender and mandarin at the top, orange flowers, moss at the middle, amber, musk, and vanilla at the base. But what I typically get from this fragrance is a heavy presence of not a heady, ultra masculine, but lavender, and then that orange flower. That is what I basically get from this, and it dries down to a very creamy floral fragrance. That is essentially what it is, a very creamy floral fragrance with a heavy presence of a very clean, tolerable lavender, not ultra masculine, and some orange flowers. I get the flower, that floral nuance as opposed to the orange, mandarin, that is supposed, I think it has some mandarin, but I don't get that juicy orange, vibe as much as I get the orange floral, and the lavender. A very beautiful one, although to me it leans a bit more masculine. I've worn this fragrance just once outside and I got a compliment from it, and it didn't feel ultra masculine on me at all. The dry down is very creamy. It's like a creamy floral scent, very creamy and very I wouldn't say it's a feminine scent, or you can say it's unisex leaning masculine. So I would rather say my men should go for this, although it can be shared, if you're a couple. But this is called Layalina from Ard Al Zaafaran. I think this one is selling for around $31 to $35, on so many websites, and it's an amazing hidden gem. I think a lot of people need to at least know about this fragrance if you are into florals, but it's not going to give you your heady floral. That is what I like about it. It's not a heady floral scent, and the lavender doesn't feel ultra masculine. So Layalina from Ard Al Zaafaran, I will highly recommend. The second one I have here is going to be a heavy vanilla scent, and this one, let me show you the fragrance. It's here. This one is called Zuhur Lak from My Perfume Arabiyat, My Perfume Arabiyat Zuhur Lak. And this is very beautiful. I found this fragrance on Kiki of my fragrance trail. I think she did this short, where she was pairing fragrances that you can layer together, and it was like a silent review. She didn't even say anything about it, but as soon as I saw it, I guess she knew I had to try it. It was a silent review, and I trust Kiki when it comes to her selection. She has one of the best, and I knew it was going to be a good one, and I'm not disappointed at all. Zuhur Lak from My Perfumes Arabiyat, I think it is definitely a hidden gem. This is a hidden gem. Nobody apart from Kiki that I saw talks about this. I've never seen this on any other platform, and even this, she didn't speak about it. It was like a silent review, but I knew for sure it was going to be a good one, and I'm not disappointed. This one has a note of dark rum. I was convinced by the note. Dark rum and apple at the top, caramel and nutmeg in the middle, and then vanilla and then woods at the base. And this is going to give you a boozy, slightly Oriental style Middle Eastern vanilla. You know, it has a bit of that Middle Eastern touch to it. You know, there is an oudi with a bit of a funk. You know, it has a bit of a funk. Like, I can't say it is not fecal, and it is not like those, you know, super animalic, you know, woody nuance. The wood here feels like an oud, you know, but there's something that gives it a bit of a Middle Eastern touch. It sort of reminds me of certain fragrances. I'm not too sure what this one is inspired by, but it reminds me of certain fragrance. You know, when I sprayed this, the first thing that came to mind was December vanilla without the creamy, you know, vanilla. You know, it feels like that. It gave me that, you know. And lately I've also been trying one particular fragrance I'll be featuring in a haul video soon. It gave me nuances of that, you know. It's a heavy vanilla scent. It gave me nuances of that. But if you have come across December vanilla, they don't smell the same, you know, but it's like December vanilla with the rum. You know, this one has dark rum, you know, but without the patchouli and that creamy vanilla. The vanilla here doesn't feel creamy. It feels a bit delicious, you know. It's like a Middle Eastern gourmand in a true fashion of a Middle Eastern Oriental style, you know, vanilla, you know, and that boozy rum with the woods, you know, very beautiful. I think everybody should at least try this. And I got it from Triple Traders. You know, I remember looking for it and I saw it on Triple Traders, and it was the last bottle. It was the last bottle on Triple Traders, but I think I've seen it elsewhere too. So I'll link it in the description in case you are interested. And I would like to put a lot of people on this because it is that good. It's going to give you a delicious vanilla with a bit of a funk, you know, and some woody sort of, you know, heavy Middle Eastern Arabian style, you know, vanilla, you know, with the boozy rum. Very beautiful. So I highly recommend that you check this hidden gem out. Zuhur Lak from Arabiyat, you know, Prestige House. A very beautiful one. The third fragrance I have here is going to be, what is it? Okay, so the third fragrance I have here is going to be from Fragrance World, and this I wouldn't say it's a hidden gem, but rather underrated, you know, because it's been around for a while. I've seen quite a bit of reviews about this Icy Roses from Fragrance World, and it's a very beautiful, gentle, calming cucumber scent with that juniper berries, which gives it like a boozy, dry gin, you know, vibe. The juniper berries comes across as a dry gin, but the cucumber makes it feel much more refreshing, a bit green, very aquatic, simple, yet, you know, very present summer scent. It is more of a summer scent to me, you know. You know, this is part of the Kilian liqueur line, but this is like the inspired by version. I tried the OG and they smell, this one even smells like a one-to-one than the up Mount Applittini from Paris Corner, you know, which is also for I think Roses on Ice, you know, for Kilian. This one smells almost identical to Roses on Ice by Kilian. I think that is the name, you know, a very beautiful one. But it's going to give you something like gin tonic vibes with the very calming, gentle, demure cucumber, you know, scent. That is essentially what it is. It is not, and it is not a hidden gem, you know, but I think it is very much underrated, you know. If you want something simple and elegant, yet with a bit of an edge, you know, because it doesn't smell like a lot of fragrances out there. Because of that, you know, cucumber, you know, you can even say, okay, those Elizabeth Arden, you know, fragrances, but not really, you know. In my opinion, it's a very good one, especially for the price you are paying for Fragrance World. It is a good one. So Roses, Icy Roses from Fragrance World, I would highly recommend. I do highly recommend. And the next one I have here, I'm going to go with a fragrance I have raved about for years, you know. For years, I don't know, I've seen nobody else talking about this, you know, but this is called Fiori Duvo Florenze, also from Fragrance World. And this has this watery lotus, black currant, and some mandarin. I'm not too sure. I think it is inspired by a Zejov, you know, fragrance, and the price is like quite out there, but this is like Fragrance World. I think I got this one a couple of years ago for like less than $10. You know, it's a good fragrance, a very aquatic, light, watery, black currant, some sweet florals, you know, some lotus, some mandarin orange, a very beautiful scent. It doesn't give you anything, you know, it's not like anything above average, you know. It's one of those average scents which also has that, you know, punch. It gives you what you are looking for in a simple yet elegant sweet. It is sweet without being juvenile, you know. It is sweet without being juvenile at all. So Fiori, Duvo, Florenze by Fragrance World, I would highly recommend. I think it's been a while since I spoke about this because I left this here, you know, and left to Ghana, and I'm back to it, you know, I'm back to it, and I'll highly recommend that you check this one out. Fiori, Duvo, Florenze from Fragrance World. The next one I don't have here, but I have it in my collection. Al Faris from Arabiyat. Al Faris, you know, from Arabiyat. It is an old, you know, fragrance. One of the first fragrances I picked up, you know, one of my first Arabian fragrances I picked up. It has that, you know, horse thing. I'll put it on the screen, you know, a very beautiful, it has this sort of makeup-y feel, you know. It gives you that sort of makeup feel with some, I think it has geranium, it has some it has geranium, vanilla, you know, some woods. It's a woody vanilla with the makeup-y touch, you know. It is marketed as a masculine scent, but to me it is very, very unisex, a very unisex, almost even feminine leaning because of that makeup, you know, lipsticky vibe it has. It sort of reminds me somehow of Le Prestige Royale with the makeup, you know, nuance I get from Le Prestige Royale. It reminds me of that, but this one is more of a vanilla scent, you know. It has a heavy vanilla scent, and that, you know, makeup and some woods. The woods are quite present, you know, but it's also very sweet. It's sweet. It's also, that particular fragrance also reminds me of Dior's Poison, you know, the OG Dior Poison, which I also have. It reminds me of that, you know. So I think it comes across as a bit, you know, feminine because of the makeup vibes, but very very unisex, you know, in my opinion too. So Al Faris from My Perfumes Arabiyat, I will highly recommend. I think that, okay, so I can consider that both a hidden gem and underrated because as a hidden gem, it is not overly saturated on social media. I don't see a lot of people talking about it. And as underrated, I can argue that it is out there, but nobody really talks about, or a lot of people, you know, I'm exaggerating if I say nobody because definitely people have spoken about Al Faris, but not like it was never a hyped up fragrance, you know. It was never hyped up, but it is a good one, a very good one, you know, for the price that you're getting that particular fragrance from. I remember I got my bottle pre-loved. It was like pre-loved. I didn't get a full bottle, you know. It was a pre-loved bottle that I got, you know, and I love that fragrance. So I consider Al Faris from My Perfumes Arabiyat a good hidden gem as well as underrated gem, you know, and that is Al Faris. The next fragrance on this list I'll consider both also a hidden gem and underrated, just because hidden gem in the sense that just like Al Faris, it is not, I've not seen it overly, you know, I've not seen it anywhere on YouTube, but for myself and C Chronicles, you know, I think we got this fragrance together, and this is called Candy Rose from Grandor, you know, Candy Rose from Grandor, and it is being marketed as an inspired version of Born in Roma from, or by Valentino. And this, I did my review, I likened it to Prada Paradox, but over time, you know, as it's macerating, I get more of that Born in Roma nuance in it, and I also get that My Way, Amani's My Way, Churros, you know, a lot more in it with the heavy candied rose, as the name suggests, you know, a very beautiful one. It feels very ladylike, very, you know, feminine, ultra feminine. It's very ultra feminine to me. I think it is a hidden gem, you know, in the sense that a lot of people do not know, and it's a gem because it is good, you know. It is a gem because this one is good, you know. There is nothing screechy about it. It doesn't give me anything offensive. It is like ultra feminine with that, you know, tuberose of Amani's My Way, and that, you know, black currant candy, vanilla nuance of what is reported to be inspired by Born in Roma, you know. It got that sort of, you know, infusion, which I love. This is a very good one. So as a underrated, fragrance. I think it is also underrated in the sense that I've not seen anyone, it's a hidden gem, but I also think it is quite underrated, until I see people talking about it or utilizing it or at least trying it out. A very beautiful, heavy candy rose, churros, black currant scent, and some, I don't get that heavy vanilla I get in Born in Roma, but it still, makes some appearance here and there. If you like those generic sort of, designer fragrances that are very mass appealing and everybody's going to compliment you, Candy Rose from Grandor is a fragrance I would highly recommend that you check out. It is a good one, a very, very good one. And the last one here I want to speak about, I have the bottle, I don't know where I've placed it, from Paris Corner, Cognac Blaze. That has been out, it's out. It's been out for a couple of months, but I don't really see a lot of people talking about it. It is not the most mass appealing scent. It is quite complex. It is quite a complex one with the Davana, that green Davana, some vanilla, I think some light presence of some coffee. It is quite not the most mass appealing fragrance, but it's a very beautiful scent. It is different. It's not going to give you your everyday or your basic. It is quite different, and that is what I like about that particular fragrance. It dries down to a bit of a vanilla lactonic sort of nuance with the Davana green touch, but it's not too much. And I also get a moderate coffee scent without being overly heavy, realistic coffee scent. It's a very beautiful one. So I also say check out Cognac Blaze from Latafa. It is not boozy, it says Cognac Blaze, but I don't see it. Even the note structure doesn't include anything boozy like cognac or whiskey or rum or any of those, but it's a very good green, maybe you can say gourmand. I think it is a gourmand scent, but not like a heavy, rich, intense resonance one. A gourmand with a green touch and that light coffee nuance. Very beautiful. So these are, I think, 7 fragrances I was able to come through my collection to share with you. They are good. All these 7 fragrances are good. They are hardly spoken about, so if you get to experience them or test them out, please do. And I hope this video found you well. Please do not forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I hope to see you in my next one. Take care. Bye bye.